Good morning and welcome to JChats with Bender JCC CEO Josh Bender. Josh's guests today are Camp Director Phil Liebson and Assistant Camp Director Elisa Glatter.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bender JCC community. Welcome back to JChats, which is a new weekly broadcast that we started just a few weeks ago, and with the goal of highlighting some of the amazing work we're doing in the Bender JCC, and more importantly, the individuals who are really making it all happen. This is a conversation today that's like near and dear to my heart. As someone who grew up in the JCC camp movement, and I credit the JCC camp experience that I had to the reason why I actually went into Jewish communal work in the first place. So this is a really exciting conversation. We are here with our Camp JCC Director, Phil Liebson, and our Assistant Director, Elisa Glatter. We are so excited to have this conversation with both of you today. Welcome.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
I wanted to start off this morning and just ask you both, how did you get your start here at the Camp JCC program here at the Bender JCC, and how did you get in the Jewish camping field in general?
Sure. Elisa, would you like to go first?
Sure. So I was always at camp growing up. And grew up in at different Vermont camps as a kid. And then I started working at Camp JCC straight out of school. It was the first job I applied to, and I've been here ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent.
So I started my my camping journey. Actually, the first camp I went to was a camp called Camp Blue Ridge, which is a small, privately owned independent camp in Northeast Georgia. When I was a kid, it was an independent Jewish camp, and I was 6 years old the first time I went there. I have a sister who's a little bit older than me, so she kind of was the one who looked after me. Nowadays, sending a 6-year-old to a 4-week camp seems quite different. But yeah, so I've been going to camp every single summer since then, whether I worked at camp or participated at camp, and I joined the Bender JCC. Last summer would have been my 5th summer. And I'm very much looking forward to getting that 5th summer under my belt next year.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that background. I'm new to the community, but what I've heard is that there are so many campers and counselors that look up to you guys as leaders of our Camp JCC program. So we have people today, I'm sure, that are watching who are very familiar with our camp program. They've either worked in the camp, kids go to the camp, they have history here at Camp JCC. But let's talk for a minute. Let's sort of think about anyone who might be watching who doesn't know anything about our camp program. What are some of the defining characteristics, and how would you describe our camp program?
Sure. So we have a big programmatic focus. I like to think there's something for everyone. Our younger kids get a big variety: art, sport, dance, music, science, really a little bit of everything. And as the kids get older, they have more of a say in what they focus on, and get to do stuff more geared towards their age groups. We have special events every week. We do competitions together. And of course, another big aspect of our camp is the inclusive aspect. So about 20% of our campers have disabilities, and that's something that really drew me to Camp JCC. And that inclusive environment is so important and so crucial to everything that Camp JCC does.
Lisa, thanks for sharing that. You know, one of the things that to me, I've heard a number of times, which is amazing, is how our inclusion program is transformative, both for the inclusion families, but also all the families in the camp program and the benefits they have from that. So that piece really is something really special about our program. And I know on a national level, oftentimes we get calls from other camps who are looking to us for guidance on how we move forward, particularly with our inclusion team who we have on staff in the summer, Eva and Heather, who really helped us craft this amazing inclusion program. So as someone who grew up in camp, I'm well aware of traditions that are part of camp. And these traditions are so important, so much so that if you tweak a tradition or change a tradition, oh my gosh, you will hear about it from the campers, the counselors. And so what are some of the sacred traditions of Camp JCC that you want to share today?
So it's a great question. And oh boy, do we experience that every summer. Every year we have a new dance instructor come in, and sometimes they try to put a spin on an old classic. For example, I think the favorite, or one of the favorite dances we do is Golden Boy. And Camp JCC actually does a little bit of a variation from the original. So that's one of those places where we need to make sure that our new dance instructor every year knows that this is our way, and this is how our campers are used to it. But in addition to that, a lot of our programmatic things, our camp song, Montrose Road, is one of the first things that our kids learn as they come up through camp in the different age groups and units. I would say another two big programs that we do every year. One would be J Games, which is our version of a Maccabiah or a color war, a color games kind of thing, where we split camp into 4 teams, and they have a chance to participate in lots of different activities. We make sure, just like everything else in camp, that there's programmatic pieces for all of our campers to participate, from puzzle rooms to sporting events and things of that nature. I think that our biggest program that our campers look forward to every year is putting on the hits. And putting on the hits, at its most basic, is a lip sync competition. But it's so much more. Picture all of our campers sitting in the audience while bunk by bunk, group by group, the kids come up and they get to perform. And every year we get to see the unexpected, whether it was our Maccabiah, which is our sports kids, coming out and doing, modern dance pieces and things like that, to some of our other groups just rapping and having just an amazing time. And it's always a wonderful event, and the kids are so excited to it every year. It's one of the hallmark pieces of the summer. It is one of our Friday special events. And yeah, we know that some campers actually make sure to be there just for putting on the hits.
Great. It sounds so excited to have the opportunity this summer to get to see some of these great sacred traditions of camp. Aliza, you mentioned earlier, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper on the inclusion piece, which really is central to who we are, not only in our camp, but the Bender JCC mission. One of the core values is inclusion, and we're always looking at inclusion in a holistic approach in terms of what does that look like for the whole Bender JCC community. And your job is never done sort of thinking about how to develop that value in our community. In terms of Camp JCC, what are some ways that that this inclusion value operates? So if you come and visit our camp, what are some things that you kind of see and feel and observe that gives you a sense of our commitment to inclusion?
I think one of the things you said that stuck out is that our work is never done for that. But it's everyone at camp ensuring that it's an inclusive environment. It's our inclusion counselors and our co-chavim counselors who work one-on-one with kids. It's the campers, those with special needs or those who are typically developing, and everyone is working to make camp inclusive. And the things I see from our 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds are they're so much more accepting, and inclusion just comes so much more naturally to them than so many adults that I know, and this is the environment that they're growing up in. All of our programs are inclusive, of course. We recently built a ramp right by our tent, which is where a lot of Camp JCC takes place. And that's just another way that everyone can navigate camp the same way. Everyone can take that ramp. We strive to make sure that camp is accessible to everyone, that everyone is getting the same great inclusive experience.
Excellent. Yeah, one of the first times I came to tour the Bender JCC, I saw the ramp, which had just been installed on our property, and I was thinking about how powerful the image is. It's not only from the standpoint of now physically children with physical disabilities can get to the space where camp opens up in the morning, but I was thinking about that on a symbolic level on what that looked like, and I was thinking about everyone being together, in the tent and coming together in the morning, and morning opening is such an important piece of camp. It kind of sets the tone for the whole day. So thanks for sharing that example about the ramp. That really is emblematic of our commitment. And again, our work is never done, right? That ramp is new, and that has now added another level of inclusion in our camp. And so thank you for that. So I'm going to shift a little bit. If you're just tuning in, we're here with Phil Leapson and Lisa Glatter, who are our fearless leaders at Camp JCC, who are getting real busy planning for the upcoming season. And we're having this wonderful opportunity just to learn a little bit more about camp and what goes into it. So every camp director or assistant director who works in camp has like these moments that happen in the summer that like make it like, wow, this is why we do what we do. Do you have one particular moment that inspired you, that reminded you why you do what you do? It could in any of the summers you've been here at Camp JCC.
Yeah. I mean, I have 100 moments, of course. I guess one that stands out to me that was more of an unexpected special moment was this past summer. We ran a virtual camp. And of course, we all went into the summer saying, we're going to provide the best program we can to our families, but it's not going to be a normal summer. We'll do the best we can. And it turned out to be a phenomenal summer. Our very last Shabbat together, we did a countdown, the top 10 songs and dances of the summer. And just seeing everyone with, cameras on, audio on. I don't know if you've had the experience of singing with people on Zoom. It's a lot, but it was so much fun. And of course, we ended virtual camp by singing Montrose Road together. And typically we repeat the chorus of the song twice at the end. And I think we repeated it 10 times. No one wanted to end camp. No one wanted to finish. And it was just such a unique experience. It's not, when I started at Camp JCC, never would I have imagined I was running a successful virtual camp. And it was so much fun for everyone who was there.
Right, sort of making lemonade out of lemons last summer. And, that's a great segue into what I wanted to ask next, which is, we did whatever we could to keep the camp community connected last summer. But as you said, they weren't able to come and be together and gather and experience in the same way that they've been so used to. So what does this summer of coming back to camp at the Bender JCC, what do you think it represents for our camp community, and what are you hearing from families?
Yeah, I think that, obviously we all missed, myself, my family, my kids who are campers, and the entire camp community. We missed that opportunity to come together, to be at our summer home, Camp JCC on Montrose Road, at the Bender JCC. It is an important place. It's where kids get the opportunity to learn in informal ways, whether it's sports, whether it's about Judaism, whether it's about being a good person, all of the things that we strive to create and connect with our kids and our families. And we didn't have that opportunity last year. And I think this chance to bring everyone back, this chance to get as many of our campers back on property at camp, to experience those little things. We forget how much it means just to be a part of a lip sync competition, or how much it means just to have 20 minutes in the morning to just let loose, have fun, be silly with friends without having a structured environment. Those little moments, those little opportunities for kids to have that social interaction, to have a chance to just learn and grow and be with friends and making new friends. Right? There's a lot of power in coming into a space where maybe you know one person, and by the end of the day, you've known 2 or 3. And that feeling of like accomplishment. I learned 2 new names today. And going home and telling your parents and having all of those experiences. And we sell camp in a lot of ways. We talk about all the benefits of camp, but a lot of the most important pieces of camp are those little moments and instances that we can't script, that we can't create, that the kids themselves and the counselors are coming up with on the fly. And those are those touch points and those pieces that we know that our families are going to be really excited to have back when they are able to join us again this summer.
Great, thanks for sharing that. Let's jump right into sort of the camp planning process, right? I a year like no year in terms of planning for camp, planning really for anything for that matter, through the pandemic is particularly challenging. It really calls for a fresh perspective and a fresh look at how we plan camp and how we move forward in the process. What does that look like? Give our viewers a sort of snapshot of what they can expect, the camp planning process.
Yeah, sure. So the camp planning is well underway. We are very excited to be where we are and have as many things as we have. Stay tuned to the website for all the key updates that are coming soon. But basically, we have weekly meetings that the entire camp team comes together, and we're very excited that in addition to myself and Eliza and Heather and Eva and Guy and Allison, we also have Stacy Frazier from the Edlovich JCC that joins us because we're excited of this new partnership that is budding and blooming, where we're going to work together for our camps. And we meet weekly. We talk about anything and everything. We've started to make sure that our plans include all of those traditions and things that we spoke about previously. We have our ongoing programs and themes and special events, and all of those things that our campers come to love and enjoy are part of these weekly meetings. And then in addition to having all of us together, we obviously have ongoing sections and groups of people who are talking about some of the finer details and points and everything it takes to get Camp JCC to be the place we know and love, and can't wait to join back in June.
Excellent, and that is an exciting partnership with the Edlovich JCC. It's so wonderful that through a challenging time that we could, come together as a larger community and work to serve, our camp families in that way. So that's really, really exciting. So when does the application process, open up for camp? I'm sure everyone's eager to hear about that.
Yes, absolutely. And we want to thank all of our families for being patient, because as returning camp families know, we typically start a little earlier on the application process. But this year, we wanted to have all the key information ready and available. So the first wave, or the applications, will start on January 18th on MLK Day. And we will have priority, just like we always do every summer, a priority application for our returning campers. And then we'll open up shortly after that for the public and all of our new camp families that we can't wait to have join us. And from there, the camp office is available to answer questions and be a part of things. We get the best questions from our families, and we always welcome them to reach out, send us an email. Some of our favorite emails come from our campers. We have a camper in the past who likes to talk to us. He's a BEMA camper through and through, and he let us know the shows and performances that the kids were really talking about. And so as part of the application process, know that it doesn't stop with just submitting your application on CampMinder. Please be in touch. We too missed an entire summer of interactions with you and your families and your campers. So anytime the kids want to send us a silly photo, pay attention to our social media. We have opportunities and contests coming. We have some fun winter crafts coming in the next week or so that you can do at home to try to stay connected or reconnect with Camp JCC. So while the applications start on January 18th, please know that the opportunity to interact and be a part of Camp JCC goes well beyond that first day.
Excellent. I want to thank both of you. We're here with Phil Leipson, our Camp JCC director, and Lisa Glatter, our assistant director, who are really working hard planning for the Camp JCC upcoming season. I'm particularly appreciating how much time that you guys have spent engaging with camp committees and the inclusion committee. And I know that you mentioned that you're doing a lot of having a lot of conversations with colleagues around the country who are also planning camp this summer. Some camps that were able to run last summer, what were some of the lessons to be learned from those? And so it really is a kind of a village. It really does take a village, and you guys, we so appreciate all that you're doing to bring Camp JCC to our community next summer. Is there anything, any last thoughts or ideas, anything you wanted to share with our JChats community?
I think less for them, but more for you. going back a while. We always need judges for putting on the hits, so you can consider this your official invitation to judge putting on the hits this summer.
Oh, Elise, I was waiting for that invitation. I hadn't come yet. I'm so glad you finally made that invitation. I also want to make an invitation.
Absolutely.
Anybody at home who could see my guitar hanging on the wall back there. I look forward to making appearances at camp and love song leading and anything I could do to support Camp JCC this summer. I'm really excited, and my kids are excited too, because I look forward to having them as part of the community as well.
I'd like to, first off, thank you, Josh, for hosting this and giving us a chance to talk and reach out. I want to thank all of the Camp JCC community and families, the Bender JCC community and families. It's been a trying time, and people check in on us. They want to make sure that we're okay, and that means a lot to us. And again, we missed everyone, and we can't wait. The energy in our planning meetings is just so exciting because of the fact that we can't wait to be back together. And it's for the community, it's for us, it's for everyone involved, our counselors, our campers. So thank you, everyone, for being there, for the positive energy, and for looking forward, because it makes planning Camp JCC so much easier, because we know that you are all there, excited, just as excited as we are. So thank you.
Well, thank you both, and thank you to our viewers who are tuning in now live or will tune in later. You joined us for JChats, which is our weekly live broadcast, having conversations with the people in our community who really are making it all happen. We're probably going to take a break next week from our JChats, but we're going to pick up in January. We got some exciting guests coming up in January as we continue to shine a light on the amazing work taking place through a difficult year. So thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. And thank you both again for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Every morning in the summer,
I get ready for a new exciting day.
Life is better when I get to see
all my old and new friends at Camp JCC.
Montrose Road, take me home.
to the camp where I belong.
Down in Rockville, Camp JCC.
Take me home, down Montrose Road.
Our traditions, they stay with us.
Ship out NJ games and putting on the hits.
From Zaha
To a dome.
Campers and their counselors come to make their home.
Montrose Road, take me home.
To the camp where I belong.
down in Rockville, Camp JCC.
home, down Montrose Road.